right, good morning. Let's do BITO and YBIT on our Tuesday after a holiday weekend. Hope everybody had a great one. So what happened on 528 trading yesterday? BITO was down 27.71 from 28.07, so down 1.28. Yay, YBIT! I tell you, I bought more of this thing, and I mean, I'm seeing it's going to pay out a lot of money. Let's see. But I'm hesitant to just tell you guys and have all the share count go up, because when the share count goes up too much before declaration, they can lower what they're going to pay out. But right now the share count's pretty small. So anyway, so it moved up. It went down 128. Well, we got a 28.5 weekly out there, right? So you really don't want it too close to that. But we went up from 2051 to 2083. I was able to snag some at 2052. Now, as a reminder to some of you guys, it's happened to me many times. If you said you saw something over the weekend, or you said, if this is you, try to remember this. I want to get more, I want to get YBIT. I don't own it, or I want to get more. Bruce said, it's going to pay out good. So it's pretty cheap, and you just put an order in it open. Well, I looked at, because BTC trades 24/7, I noticed it was down like 68,000 or something from 69. And I saw that BITO in the pre-market was down, right? It was showing, 27.70, whatever it was showing in the pre-market. But this YBIT wasn't, it has very thin volume in the pre-market, but it really wasn't showing any pre-market. So I said, well, I'm not going to pay 21.06, right? That's what it was showing. So it opened, traded at 21.06, and I said, if YBIT stays down and BTC stays down, this thing's going to drop back down, or they're not going to have people buying it at 21.06. Why would it be up when the other ones are down? And it tracks pretty closely to them. So I placed my additional order at like 2052, and I waited and waited and waited, and I think it was 30 minutes after the open, depending if you're Eastern or Western time zone, right? But I like to say 7 a.m., which is what it would be in California or Arizona, although Arizona just changed their time and not following California. But the point is, 30 minutes after the market opened, it went off at 2052, I think. And I thought to myself, good on you for holding out and waiting. And that's kind of what, there's a million times I put it down too low and went away and left it there, and I missed getting, bought by a couple pennies, and it went way up in a few days, and I kicked myself. But with this one, I was like, well, I got time. The declaration's not till the 5th of next week, right? It's when they declare. So I won't ramble on forever, but teaching point. If you see something that doesn't make sense, let it play out, right? And what didn't make sense was BTC was down, BITO was down, and this tracks BITO. It owns BITO, right? So I was like, I'm going to let it play out. And sure enough, it came to me and then went on back up a little bit in the day as BTC went up. So anyway, we're up $1.50. We were up 1.56% when they were down. That's always a win, okay? So nothing else happened. No shares bought. No real money balances changed hands, because nobody bought at the 25 stock level, right? 25,000 shares, so they don't post any of that. So let's go over and look at weeklies, right? So we're still setting on all of our contracts, which I hate, at the 28.50 strike price, right? Let's go back and look at May and see what they got for those, right? So obviously it's 3,800 times a number of contracts and the price they got, right? 3,800 times 100 times, 48 cents, 44 cents, and that gets you the 144,000. Now the good news is we've captured 35.53%. So let's go look at that, right? is 38 cents, right? 3,800 contracts gives 144,400. So we can see that detail right here, right? They're saying that it's still, the premium is still 24.5 cents, right? We sold 38, that's why we've captured 34%. We could buy it back for 93,100. So, we've made 53,000. I say we have a paper gain of 53,000. We'll see how it plays out. So that's the key there. I don't like it all in one, right, on the weekly. We came back and tested this breakout at 27. We were up at 28.07 the day before, right, last Friday, and then we closed down at 27.71, right? So we're above the breakout line decently, and this thing could run, but it may just bounce around here for a little bit. From our perspective, we've got 3 trading days. I don't want it to go past 28.50, right? I'm selfish. I don't want to lose that premium. So let's go take a peek at that, and then we'll come back to our holdings. So here we are in our payout mode, right? We've only got 2 cents. We're still at 525,000 shares. So this April-May combination, a week or two here, and then the full period of May is what's going to constitute. So I just added these two together. That's why I drew the line between them. We're setting at $8.21, right? So they could pay us $3 or $4, but I think they'll pay $2.50, maybe $3. Now, if we lose the 144, right, that's going to mean this probably goes back to 140 on that. It probably adds 25 cents of a loss here. So as long as this hangs around at 2 cents and we have one more week to maybe get it positive, and this isn't going to change. There's no reason for them to roll that yet. So this fund is looking pretty darn good. We're going to find out. I own YBIT. I'm going to find out what it pays, I think, on Friday. I think it's the 31st. I thought it was the 29th, but I think the declaration is the 31st for them. And I think they pay one day after. Or actually, I think they pay Monday on the 10th, but they declare on the 31st. And here we are. We declare on 6/5 for all the single stock funds for YieldMax. It's only the fund of funds, the Magnificent Seven funds, and Ulti that pays on the middle of the month. So we all get paid on the 7th for our stocks, and the declaration date is the 5th. So we're only 8 calendar days away, guys. Well, actually 7, because it's Wednesday to Wednesday now that it's already Wednesday. So that's what I got for you here. I'll just finish up in holdings. I mean, we're looking pretty sweet on this thing. So back to holdings. We've got a $3.4 million loss. How do we know it's a loss? Because you always want your calls to be worth more than your puts, because you got to buy these back and you got to sell these, right? So you want to sell something for $1 million and buy something back for $500,000 and net money, right? But not a huge situation at this point. It's probably well, it's not $1. It's probably, 3/5, right? So it's probably 60-something%. It's probably 60 cents. So we got an $8 gain in that. So looking good, right? We could buy everything back for 93. That's on 144 that we got paid for it. We got a 35% gain. We're hanging around this 3.6, 3.3, 3.4. It's not changing a whole lot. Ultimately, because these are at 36, they're way up. The synthetics at 36, right? So we make a bunch of money when we buy a real cheap call and sell a put. But eventually, you got to pay the piper here, right? But not within our declaration. I'll start worrying at 610, 614-ish time frame, and who knows, maybe, I just don't want it to run past 28.50 right now, and neither should you if you own it. But beyond that, let's see what they do next week. Let's see if we end up at 28.10 or 28.20 and we keep all our money and they sell at 29.50 or a 30 next week. That's what I'd like to see them do. Okay, I'm going to keep this one short. I'm going to do my GDXY for us precious metal fund lovers. See ya again. This is Bruce out. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please always consult your financial advice before making financial decisions. Have a great day. See ya.